Rob Stone joins us from Russia. Stoner, how are you?
That's former PA to Dan Patrick, Rob Stone, checking in
Okay.
from Moscow. How are you, my friend? What a pleasure. What a pleasure to join you guys. I'm glad you finally found my number.
I actually emailed you a couple of months ago to say how proud I was of you, and then I didn't hear back, and I went, man, did something happen?
Well, you're kind of spam worthy, Dan. So these things happen. Trust me, Dan Patrick. If you emailed me, damn straight, you would have gotten a response within a second. So that clearly went somewhere sideways. Don't worry about that.
Okay, God's honest truth. I reached out to Carissa Thompson, and I said, can you give me Rob Stone's email address? And I sent you an email that moment. You were hosting college football, and I wanted to let you know how proud I was because how many years do we go back? 20 years ago you were a production assistant?
It was funny. It's probably 91, 92 is when I first got to work with you. And to this day, I remember one of the baseball highlights that I cut for you. And we would have these post-production meetings at the end of SportsCenter. And it was it was a tense time between the working stiffs and the talent at that time. I think you guys had gotten some bad shot sheets, some handwritten garbage that you guys weren't happy with. I think it was you and Olbermann. And in the meeting, you stood up and you're like, who did this highlight? And it was, I'm pretty sure it was Mets and Reds. And I put my hand up, and I mean, I'm telling you, a little pee came out when I put my hand up. And you said, this is exactly what I want. And I mean, it was sheer excitement. And I remember the highlight to the day, Dan. It was a 1-0 game, and all I did was go through the entire at-bat of the game-winning RBI, and I matched it with somebody in the dugout chewing gum. So they put the gum in the mouth, and the at-bat's going and fouling off. The gum's starting to get tired. Boom, more foul balls. Finally, he gets the hit, the winning run, throws the gum out. That's your highlight. It's done. To this day, God's honest truth, I remember this as one of my PA SportsCenter highlights.
Thank you, Rob. That's all we wanted to talk about. We didn't want to talk about the World Cup.
That's it. Goodbye, everybody.
How would you give us an idea about what it's like when you're not working in Russia? How's the fan base, the food, etc.?
Yeah, it's there's not a whole lot that I'm not working. So now that the tournament gets in the later stages, there are a few pockets of downtime. And in the early days before the families arrived, it was pretty much Alexi Lawless and I and whoever wanted to hang out with us. And we might do like a minor excursion. We would go to a Russian banya, which is basically a Russian bathhouse, and sweaty Russian men in towels would feed us with birch twigs in a sauna. So that was the highlight. Searching for food that you can recognize on the menu, nodding quickly to anything involving vodka. Eventually when you're away from home for a while, you're just like, can I get a taco? I would love pizza. Is there a burrito around here? I understand your borscht. I understand that this animal is treated as a food in your world, but not mine. I just need a little America. But otherwise, man, this tournament has been fantastic. I've been fortunate to cover Men's World Cup started in 1998, and every 4 years, I really feel they grow in magnitude, not just internationally, but clearly domestically as well. And there was all this fear, Dan, that nobody back home would really care about this World Cup because the U.S. men's national team wasn't involved in it for the first time since back to 1986. And I laughed. I said that there's no way that is the case. America loves a good tournament. They've completely embraced the World Cup. And I knew that this was going to be one of those seminal moments where the numbers were going to back it up, where people are watching, people are caring about it. They're absolutely involved in it. They're caught up in the intrigue and the drama. And in my book, and I've been saying this for a couple weeks now, this is going down as the greatest World Cup, I think, beyond just our generation, but ever, with the storylines that have played out and the fact that we as an American audience aren't held to how the U.S. is doing. We are just sitting back almost as a neutral and taking in all these storylines without feeling this absolute pain and anger and disgust. We can just watch the games with a clear head, take it all in, and absolutely enjoy what's been a magical month.
How are the English fans?
Sad, despondent, hungover. right now would be my guess. You know, it was interesting coming into this tournament. Not a whole lot was made about this English national team. They weren't sexy. There wasn't that kind of iconic type star. There wasn't this buildup. There wasn't this antagonistic relationship with the media, which so often happens back there. And they were allowed to come here and smile and laugh and have fun and be young. And they started achieving this success early, and you could hear the momentum back home about, hey, this team isn't that bad. But they still weren't coming here. You know, clearly there's a history between English supporters and maybe the Russian fan base, and not a good history. So I think English fans were hesitant, tentative to make their way here. But once they started getting that momentum and they got out of the group, you were seeing more and more fans. You were hearing that accent. You were hearing the songs and the singing throughout Moscow, throughout Red Square. Now, you know, the fact that they lost, I think they lost with great pride, and I feel like they have, and this is talking to our English friends that we work with, that they've kind of unified this country. You know, this team getting knocked out in the semifinals has brought so many people closer together, and they've given them this hope and this belief, where in the past I think it was always a little bit more negative, and now it's clearly an upbeat, positive vibe around England and that soccer team.
He's Rob Stone, Fox Sports lead studio host, the FIFA World Cup today. How big of an upset would it be if Croatia wins this on Sunday?
I think a pretty sizable upset. Croatia comes in ranked 20th in the world, and look, the FIFA World Rankings are skewed and they're odd, and I don't know whose abacus they use to make it up. But in the end, you look at this France makeup and you're saying, wow, these guys are current stars and these are stars in the making. These are guys who are scratching the surface of having that Pele-type conversation put around them. So I think it would be a sizable upset only because of that. But when you look at what Croatia has, I'm trying to find what that parallel is for them to American sports, and I don't know what it is, because it's kind of Green Bay Packer, but without Aaron Rodgers. It's Patriots. We're just making savvy moves and strength up the middle and deep everywhere, and no place is there a weakness where you're going to be hurt. This Croatian team is really good, and we saw it in Game 2, and they just dismantled Argentina and Messi, and that opened up a lot of eyes. And I think a lot of people said, well, wait a second, look at these guys. They play in, for Real Madrid, they play for Barcelona, they play for Inter Milan. These are really good clubs that these guys not are just members of, but are absolute key contributors for. Would it be an upset? Yes. Would I be surprised? Croatia refuses to. I can't be surprised by Croatia anymore. They've gone 3 straight games to extra time, and they survive. And in tournaments like this, it's have a hot keeper, survive in advance, and have that will. And Croatia, man, they got a wicked will to win.
Keep up the enthusiasm there, Rob, and I'm proud of you. You've done a great job there, and I hope you're having fun.
I'm having a blast, and I'm thrilled to talk to you. And just so you know, you and several others over there were just a huge part of my life, and I forever will thank you. And this is the God honest truth. I look back and I speak so highly of the things I learned from you guys, whether you knew you were educating me or not. You were. I was watching you, and I was listening, and I was learning. I really do thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Rob, and good luck this weekend. Tell the folks we said hello over there.
Will do, my friend. Be good.
That's Rob Stone, Fox Sports lead studio host, and he was a great kid, though. I mean, had that great attitude, smile on his face, good-looking kid, and then he said, I want to be on air. And everybody who came into the mothership, 19, 20, 21, 22, college graduates, everybody wanted to be on the air. And then you have to tell them, you're not going to get on the air here. You're going to have to leave here, and then if you want to come back, then you have a chance. And he did it. He put in the work that you needed to, and it's a great story. Of course, he didn't return my email. Maybe Carissa Thompson gave me a faulty email address for Rob Stone.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.